What an honor is to be here today with these guys. My name is Gabriel, and I'll be going over TST and UPSL. On our far right, we have Boris, the founder and the CEO of City Soccer. Next to him, we have Profe Marcelo.
How are you?
We have Pedro, coach as well. And we have Juan, the team management. All right, Boris, let me ask you a question. Let's start off with how did City Soccer start?
So to give you a little summary, because I could be here all night, but 2011, when the idea came about, actually 2010-11, City Soccer, we found the right spot here in West Palm Beach. There was really a need, you know. There wasn't really nothing at that time here in Palm Beach County. And just the idea came about. I was just very, like, I got to make this happen. Very lucky to find a great spot here right next to City Place, downtown. And from there, we just kind of like the first year was developing the idea of indoor fields, having a restaurant, people hanging out, just a place where people can have fun, It was just more something that this town needed, So then we started like seeing how other locations were coming about, and we started like putting a team together with local guys, local talent, college guys at the time. We started competing. At the time, a lot of the guys, and now I can say I know them since they were like 15 years old. They just start developing as humans, going to school, college, and, becoming humans in life along with soccer, So I was very lucky to find these really good players, and we started competing. South Florida, the name started sounding everywhere, and we just started competing. And 2012, 13, we started winning a lot of the tournaments, a lot of great competition. And I mean, when City Soccer did the first league here, it was just a lot of, I don't know if you remember, Juanito's 17 teams. You were part of it at one point, Pedro too. Mm-hmm. So that just the idea of competing. Then we started hearing about these international tournaments. And we're like, you know what? We should maybe join, And, City Soccer, I believe in 2015, we went to Vegas, and there was 130 teams in Vegas too. Whoever would win that was going to go to Thailand. We ended up making it to the best 16 teams, and we actually lost best of 16. I think we lost. So we said, you know what? We're not going to give up. Let's just keep going, So the next year we went to California. We ended up, getting a spot. We went to China. And we ended up winning. It was 5v5 soccer, and we ended up winning that tournament. So that was very motivating for the guys. And then we just kept going. Then there was the Red Bull tournaments. We went to Brazil. We went to Germany. We went to Qatar. We even went to England. Gosh, I'm maybe forgetting South Africa twice. And it was all with the same guys that have been part of this project that I've had. I didn't have. I mean, it wasn't like I had it written down. It just kind of like happened, And basically that's how City Soccer just kept going. We became a hub here in West Palm Beach, and it's been a blessing. It's been a learning experience. Myself, I've learned a lot, ups and downs with learning how to run not just a business with a restaurant. We started doing events, and we've just been doing a lot of cool things, and I'm very proud of that. And to come to, talk about TST, I think TST, this is going to be the third year?
Third year, correct.
So, we missed out on the first year because it was actually, I inquired, but it wasn't that easy to get in, So I sent an email. I was like, hey, how do you get in this tournament? They're like, well, you have to kind of have it. And I was like, all right, well, next year we'll try. And, Chepe, Juan Quinteros, which was always been part of the team with me. He's always been like a good helper, also as a player, And throughout the years, I had all these guys that I was like, you know what? If I'm able to get to TST, I want to take all my boys. All the guys have been part of this past 12 years. And last year, of course, it was a learning experience. We realized that it's not an easy tournament. All the legends are part of that tournament. I mean, you were there last year with a different team. So, again, this just been a blessing. It's been a learning experience, but I was able to put this together this year again, join forces with Marcelo. I present him the project. with everything we're planning to do. And here we are. We're just getting ready. We're leaving May 1st. We're going to go to a training camp in Colombia with a couple of the players that are prospects. Also Edson. Edson has a history, of many, many years as a professional. He's also joining forces with us. So I'm very excited. I mean, I'm just, and I'm glad you're part of it, and then, obviously you had the idea to bring Pedro, which is our UPSL coach. And UPSL has been also a very cool experience, because it's semi-pro level and we've been able to give a lot of guys opportunities. So really that's how, there's a lot more things I'm probably missing, but it's been an awesome experience, bro. It really has.
Absolutely.
What an honor to be here, like I said again. And I want to ask you, Profe, how do you feel about taking on this next challenge with City Soccer at the TST Tournament?
That's a great question, actually. I'm kind of honored, to be honest with you, in the sense that, just before I even get to TST, with Boris and the City Soccer family here, if you're in West Palm Beach or if you're in anywhere, south of, I don't know, Martin County and all the way down to Miami, they know about Boris and close to the 20 years that he's been doing, great things for youth soccer, for amateur soccer, and now into the professional levels. So I know he came with a good plan and someone that I could really trust. He mentioned it earlier. I had the opportunity to coach a different team at last year's TST, and with his experiences and with my experiences, mine both being positive, we did well, negative, we didn't win the whole thing, because at the end it's all or nothing, right? You're going there, and there's no second place. It's either you win $1 million or try and come back next year and you kind of live off the experience. So there's a lot of things I thought my group did well. There's a lot of things that I know that we could improve on. And, those are the meetings that we're going to have here as a collective staff to try and eliminate as many of those negatives that both of our teams had last year, and what were the things that worked in the ultimate goal to try and get to that final. And when you get to a final, anything can happen. And I'm kind of looking forward to that, especially with the team. I'm not at liberty yet to let you guys know who the players are, but Boris doing the ownership and general manager, and Juanito being the team manager, and Pedro here, helping me out. I have a great team behind me, so you can't do anything by yourself. So I'm very happy that staff is in place. And that was one of the things that I talked to Boris before I signed on, that it's just not one person. You could bring the best coach in the world, but if he doesn't have a supporting staff, it's not going to work. So I'm very happy and I'm excited. And in less than a month, we're going to be there doing what we are trying to do.
Very nice. Would you say what makes a successful team in this tournament? Would you say would be tactics, chemistry?
It's we were talking about it. We have a chat group here, and the best way I can describe it, it's kind of like a hybrid. It's not 5v5. It's not futsal. It's not 11v11, which is the soccer that we all watch on TV. But it's a mix. So it has attributes of 5v5. It has attributes of 11v11. There's angles that are different. The net's smaller. The field's a little smaller. But the players are still as fast, as big, as strong, as technical. So you have to be able to play your strengths. Now, you're asking me what our tactics are going to be. I can't say I'm going to go in and play a certain system, but then the players that we end up getting can't play that system, right? So eventually we're going to try and get our best players on the field in the right spots. The thing I can tell you is on any field, I don't need 10 number 10s. I need one number 10. I need a number 9. I need a number 6. I need a number 3. I need a number 4. So we're going to have some superstars, but we're going to have some soldiers. And if you can find, and in this case, it's our responsibility, the coaching staff, to find that right balance, we're going to be successful, right? And that was part of the negatives that I had on the team I was with. And maybe, once we get together, that's maybe some of the issues that City Soccer had last year. Maybe not enough people in the right spots, or maybe people out of the spots because they say, I only play a forward. Well, you know what? In this hybrid system, you're a great forward, but you're a better right defender. Right? But now, can you get into that player's head for him to be humble, to do what's maybe not best for him, but what's best for the team, for us to be successful? And that's my job. So I think that's where we're going to try and get on the same page with the players. And I'm going to say 95% of these players I don't even know yet, which is great. because everybody comes in, with a blank slate. I don't care what you did before. Don't tell me how good you are. I need you to show me. And if they don't show me, they don't play. And that's, and that goes for everybody, which is a good way to start and build essentially what is a new team. Boris will tell you better, even Juanito, who was with the team last year. I don't know how many players from last year's team are even going to be considered this year. And that's a good thing, right? When you get complacent, you get lazy, and in soccer, that's really bad. You can't do that. You have to play your game like it's the last time you're ever going to play. And that's the mentality that we're going to go into this training camp starting in Colombia here, first couple of days of May.
Yep.
May 1st?
May 1st to the 4th or 5th.
I can expand on that. So what we're going to do, we have a big contingent of Colombian players, and some of the ones that we are looking at from here are also going to be traveling. We think we're getting there on a Thursday. We're staying there till Monday. A couple of days that we play, a couple of days where we're going to have 2 training sessions. So we're going to essentially compact a little training camp to see, evaluate, take into consideration maybe even some new players that can get there. But everything is falling into place. Like I said, in a little bit, I think it's about a month, we're going to have to buckle down and try and win that $1 million.
Exciting.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
Coach Pedro, first time at the TST tournament. Any expectations?
A lot of expectations. I was called by Coach Marcelo here one morning, and he told me that he wanted me in the team, and I was so excited because I've heard of TST, and I when I got the call from him, I told him straight up, I'm honored to be part of the team. I know his history a little bit, Coach Marcelo, his winning mentality, and that kind of also drew me into it. But definitely it's going to be a big experience for myself, for city soccer as well, to grow in the level. But definitely excited and expecting like the best that we can give from us coaches and from the players that are coming in along with us. Is going to be huge.
Absolutely. He actually brings up a very good point. When you go there and you see the level of professionalism of, every detail being organized there. The TST, a little background, started with the TBT, which is the basketball tournament, which they've been doing for 7-8 years. It's obviously it's a different sport, but it's a amateur, ex-pro, ex-college player, ex-whoever wanted to play basketball tournament. And how they did on the basketball side is, when the time ran out, X amount of points, and then it's still more points. So even if you're losing, the concept is the game's not over till a last basket. And that's what we love about the TST, right? It's the only competition in the world right now where every single game has to finish on a goal. So I was watching, I grew up in Toronto, born in Chile, but I grew up in Toronto. So there was a Toronto team there last year that was down 5-0 at the end of the game. Target score time, meaning that they have to get to 6. First person to 6 wins. So the team that's winning, since they're at 5, they need 1 goal. The other team, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3. They ended up winning 6-5 or 7-6, whatever it was, right? But the concept of you having to take a man out every 3 minutes, tactically, as a coach, the preparations that you have to do, the systems, how you select your players, right? How you set them up in defensive blocks. What's your patterns and moving when you're attacking? It is like playing chess. And that's the part of me that I love. I've been coaching for a long time, but this was, I can't say new to me because it's soccer. At the end of the day, it's soccer, but it was something, and I'm detail oriented, sometimes to a fault. I'll have a bottle, and if it's here, I don't like it, I have to move it a little bit. That's just me. But it's actually details in this tournament that actually win your game. So I'm hoping that we can focus on the details and just do what it is, the little things I think that we need to do. And we got the draw was today. We were going to face 3 very, very tough teams. Calgary from Italy, Indiana Hoosiers alumni. Indiana, they're usually in the top 5 of the NCAA perennial all the time, so all their alumni. And then Stanford, with the biggest program besides UCLA on the West Coast, just in Los Angeles, their alumni group. So it's going to be guys that will run through walls and run, I think it's 20-minute half, so they'll run 40 minutes, 100 miles an hour. So how are we going to be able to either match them or play something different, right? Odds are we're going to play something different, right? But again, that's the little details. It's the chess match that I'm looking forward to. And again, I'm happy to have Pedro along. When Boris, when I did that proposal, like I said, I wanted to make sure I had some people, like-minded soccer lovers, soccer fanatics, soccer knowledgeable people beside me. With Pedro already being in place, and I saw him work many years now. The first time he was with City Soccer, then he went to coach somewhere else and came back to City Soccer. He's always done a good job. I'm the type of guy I'll get there early and just kind of watch little things, and someone that I wanted to help me out, and that's credit to what he does. And Juanito, even more so. I think he's been here almost 10 years with City Soccer.
Correct.
So he's part of City Soccer. So he's going to do a good job for us. And don't let him just say he's the team manager. He's going to be assistant coaching us, and he's gonna be the one that does everything behind the scenes. And without people like Juanito, all of this is really not possible.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
What did you learn last year, Juan, on your first time tournament?
TST.
The TST tournament. What I learned is the professionalism.
Yeah.
Teams. I felt like we were at a good level, but come to mind, like Boris said, the players have been with us for 10, 12 years. They have gotten older. Now, if this tournament would have took place 2018, 2017, I'll tell you right now, we'll win that damn thing.
Yeah.
Off rip with those players. But they're older, they're become family men, and I feel like now, with what we're planning on doing,
Expectations
are a lot higher, are very high. And I feel good about it this year, to be honest with you. And we'll see. We're going to go with everything.
Well, excited. Can't wait to see
I had a coach that used to tell me, and he just mentioned about expectations. He was always with these little sayings, and I remember him saying it. That sticks to my head all the time. No pressure, no diamonds, right? So if you don't have pressure on you, if you don't feel pressure from your teammates to keep your position, or them stealing your position, or, the players, you're like, oh man, these players know what they're doing. The coaches have to raise their level, right? Once you see everything is professional, the people behind the scenes have to raise their level. So without that pressure, the diamond is that trophy, right? So it takes a lot of pressure, and pressure is always good. I always tell them, enjoy this pressure. You have pressure sometimes. I have a daughter that plays, and she gets nervous in big games. I go, Mama, you want to play in front of 10,000 people? There's 20 people here. The pressure is you. That's going to build you. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to make your personality better. If you make a mistake, it maybe will put a pressure on you to not make that mistake again. And I remember our first game last year, we played against Concafa FC with, what is the guy's name? The ESPN commentator guy. Pat McAfee. Okay. So it's packed. I'm looking around. I go, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and this place is already packed. And they didn't even have us on the main field. They had us on the second one. And I could tell some of those guys were, feeling the pressure, right? And I told them that exact same thing. And sure enough, you have to some people, and that's the difference between a great player and a good player. You have to be able to react to the situation. And is the pressure going to build you, or is the pressure going to kill you, right? And how do you know which one it's going to do is with the preparation. I go, this field, the exact same field we practice on, the nets are exact same size that we practice on. Go have some fun, right? And sure enough, if you can instill that into your players, and that's going to be part of the coaching staff's job, is to almost make them feel better than they are. And, an average team playing with confidence is very, very tough to beat. So if we're a great team with confidence, then we're going to be even tougher to beat. And hopefully we can get that team all going on the same page.
Yeah, you guys have what it takes, definitely.
Hopefully, yeah, absolutely.
I see a couple of players in the roster, so you guys have to wait.
Shoot, yeah. I haven't even seen the roster yet.
Boris, how has TST affected you personally and professionally?
It hasn't really changed me a lot from everything that I've done, but it's definitely another level. It's another level of preparation. So last year was something that I really was ready mentally, but the truth is it's another competition. I mean, like he mentioned, the target score. It's just wild, So those little details, yeah.
So exciting. So exciting.
It's exciting and it's tactics and it's like one little mistake. And if your guys are, I mean, the one thing I gotta understand and I'm with him on this is like guys have to be at 200%. You can be the best player, but if you're not fit, so those are things that I know that we're focusing in and it's the key. So for me, that has kind of changed my mentality where I've always been more passive in a sense. I'm like, you know what? I always enjoy it, but then again, bringing different mentalities like, hey, we can make this right. We put the right connections. We can win this thing, Obviously, you're not going to go there thinking you're going to lose, but I really feel strong that at least the work is going to be there. I know that we're going to bust every possible way to do what it takes to at least put up the best fight possible. Because we're going to face some great teams. I mean,
absolutely.
The draw was today, and I'm like, we already played that one team.
Right.
The Calgary.
The Calgary.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same team as
We
last
played
year.
them last year and we
Cuomo, right?
lost.
Was it Cuomo?
No, Calgary. Como was a different team.
Como, but I don't know.
But they were last year, just so they were together. Como and Calgary were together.
Oh, okay.
And we lost 3-1, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and target score.
And target score is
score
huge.
It's like sudden death.
Target score
Every
is
game.
huge.
Every game finishes
not a
with a
tie.
goal.
You have sudden death. That's crazy.
We lost the final 2 games by a goal because of target score. It is huge.
Absolutely. He brings up a great point.
Huge.
We got to wherever we got last year, but my point is there's not much difference between the teams that end up being out, not even getting to the second round, to the ones that finish second or third in a different group. It's a goal, like that 3-1 game. That means when the game finished, it was 2-1 because it ended up 3-1 because of target score. That in soccer, a 1-goal game is a coin flip. So that's how you have to limit your mistakes. You got to take advantage of the opportunities. There's so many coach sayings that you could say, but at the end of the day it's the team that doesn't make mistakes that's going to end up winning and takes advantage of the opportunities that they create. And, Juanito, Boris, probably like me, have gone through that tape of, let's say, that 3-1 game and go, oh, look at this. Oh,
Yes.
look at this.
Like simple
we couldn't
mistakes.
we should have done this. We didn't. And it's chess. Like I said, it's so tactical, and that's the fun part. And when you know you have an opportunity, to win $1 million, it's there. Like there's 48 teams, 30 of them have the opportunity to win it because it's just that close. It's just that close,
And it's exciting also for me because I feel like the coaching part of it goes into it a lot more than in the 11v11 type of thing. Like as a coach, you have to be
can agree with
really,
that, absolutely.
really 100% concentrate on things that you're gonna do right there, and it's so quick, and you have 20 minutes to think about it. Not in 11v11, you have 45 minutes and then 15 minutes to think about it and revert whatever you had done in the first half to do it in the second. So this is like fast paced.
the adjustments have to be
as a
done
coaching
very well.
staff, you have to be like 100% mentally prepared to do the things that you have to do without mistakes like that, So it's exciting.
One thing for me that made me and Boris, at least City Soccer, feel good last year, we were the only amateur team in a group of all professional teams. North Carolina is a USL championship team. Valencia, obviously, we know who they are. They play in Spain. And Calgary Como, they play in Serie A. And for all those 3 coaches to come up to us and tell us, you guys were the best team that we played in this group, makes you feel good. A legend like Diego Sena from Spain. Marco Sena? Sorry.
Marco Sena.
Marco Sena from Spain come up to you and tell you, you guys have a beautiful team.
Yeah.
And not make it out of the group.
It was
Kind of
tough.
shows you what level we're at as an amateur. And knowing that, hey, if we put in a little bit more work,
It's motivational
year-
also, you know? Motivation.
This year
That
could-
first game is very, very
Movie.
important. It's going to set the tone. And if you win that first game, you have 1 foot into the next round. At the end of the day, it's just surviving. You know, it's just getting into that next round, preparing that team, see which one of your players can handle the pressure, right? How your modifications as coaching changes, like Pedro said, because at the end of the day, everything is so fast. It is so fast. You think futsal at the highest levels is fast, or soccer 11s is fast at the highest levels. I'm telling you, it is anarchy, controlled, beautiful football. And over there at the facilities, it's like playing on a billiard table. Everything is professional, and if you can't play there, you better hang up your boots. You know, it's that type of.
It is true.
So I believe-
everything is professional. Absolutely.
I believe the first day it's 2 games, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So imagine the preparation you need to be at, because we play at 12:30 and then we have a game at 8 p.m. I believe.
Yes.
7:30.
8:30. I
7:30?
thought.
Correct. Not
So-
too much of a turnaround.
So
That's
imagine
tough.
at the speed this game is being played, the tactics, which I'm glad that I have these guys behind me now. They're actually not behind me; they're in front of everything, because I can focus on all the details. Which there's a lot of little details, just from the food, from the drivers, from the players being rested. I mean, there's so many little things that you have to. So on that, I'm pretty good about, you know, organizing things, and obviously I have the right help. A lot of Juan Quintero's Chepe has been also a very great help with just the meetings that go and TST information. I mean, this whole thing is so prepared, so professional. Like, you have your own little trailer, you know, and then you're walking around and you see, I'm like, oh my God, this guy, I used to watch him on TV, you know,
There's
like,
Nani.
I was like, wow, like,
cool.
you know, and so
Absolutely.
it's cool. It's a great experience, and it's definitely one of the best tournaments. And mind you, I've been in China, very awesome setup, South Africa, Qatar, you know, with seeing Neymar right in front of us. But TST, completely different level, because the game is just so much different. And I don't know if you've seen how Red Bull, the tournaments with Neymar were, you know, how they've been in the past.
Oh, yeah.
That it's like, you know, with the walls, and also you lose a player if you get scored on, you know. So, man, it's just, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this to get going again, you know, to be there. But first, Colombia, it's going to be definitely, that's when their work already started, but they have a really tough decision. You know, I can only provide you guys the prospects, and I'm sure we're getting tons of, we're actually doing a tryout.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about
May
that.
8th.
Yeah.
It's actually confirmed. It's going to be here in West Palm.
Invitation only, though.
Invitation only. But, you know, there's still opportunities for guys that, if they send their information, their videos, and, you know, something that we can say, you know what, come in and train and try out. I think that's going to be pretty wild too, you know? Because I think I got people even from last year that were in other teams. They're like, hey, I'm no longer in this team.
Right.
Here's my video. It's tough. So I'm like, let them decide. Of course, I'll help in whatever they need me to. But just that on that. And then also, May 1st to the 5th, Colombia, tryouts here. And then I'm sure these guys are going to come up with other ideas
Yeah, we're
that
gonna
we
have
can't
to.
probably mention right now. But we're also going to have a little gala here, and I'm going to invite a lot of people that love soccer that want to be part of this project, because, you know, we're doing so many things, you know, from the youth academy, from just the team in UPSL, TST, and there's a lot of other plans. You know, now City Soccer, we're in actually Uruguay now. We opened a nice facility.
That's right.
It's actually
Uruguay.
outdoor, but it's pretty awesome. So I'm very proud, and working on Chile as well. So I'm just trying to grow the name, and I'm just so thankful to have these guys, you know, it makes it a lot easier, and I can focus on the right things, you know, let them focus on the coaching part, you know. But yeah, we're excited, man.
No, those details that you go on they're very hard. I don't think I would be able to do it and manage it behind it. But also, I'm more into the coaching staff part of it, and I'm very happy to be here as well.
Very nice. Profe, what kind of players are you looking for this roster?
Ooh, that's again, that's such a loaded question. I'm going to ask you, and it's like, you know, I want the best possible players, right? But again, you know, I kind of maybe touched on it earlier. You're looking for certain players that, one, can contribute to the team, obviously, right? They can do the job that you need them to do. Experience plays a part. You know, the physical aspect, as Boris mentioned, that being 100 miles an hour is going to play a part. And that's a tough part. You know, it's so hard to, you know, and I've been coaching for so long. And the toughest question I always got was when a kid got cut, he would say, Coach, what do I need to do to improve? And I could sit and have a conversation for 2 hours with a kid because there's so many things. Soccer is not just, okay, you need to score more goals. You know, I wish it was that simple. And again, that question, I have a feeling that our job here, once we get the players that City Soccer is bringing to us, then we're going to have to get water out of a rock. We're going to have to get the most that we can out of those players. And hopefully those players are at a high level, which is what we're expecting. And then we can kind of tactically just fine tune things. But if we go in there with a team that's not good technically, then we're going to have to find a plan B and things like that. So what players am I looking for? The best possible players, you know, that we can get, you know. And again, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I know Boris wouldn't be doing this if he didn't have players that he thought could win the whole thing. You know, him being there last year and seeing the level and seeing the quality all over the world, you know. And if we can match that, I think we have a good shot.
If you had an opportunity to bring a legend to your squad, who would it be?
I'm gonna be culturally biased on this one just because I'm Chileno and Boris is Chileno too. But there's a guy that I had a chance to watch who arguably in the under-20 World Cup in Toronto was better than, and this team had Vidal, it had Medel, it had Alexis Sanchez, but his name is Vidangosi. He played, he was kind of a hothead. He, you know, got into some things that he shouldn't have got into. And now he's coming back and he's absolutely killing it in the Kings League in Spain, like MVP type numbers. And if you thought Alexis Sanchez in his prime would do magic with the ball, this kid was better, you know, but the career path obviously went in different directions, but he's ready now. That would be one that, you know, I had thought about it because I talked to Boris about it because I knew he was playing Kings League. But now if I could have anybody I wanted, you know, there's a guy that's wearing number 10 playing in, you know, a little south of us here at Inter Miami that I would love to have on the team.
I think I know who he is.
You know what I mean? That's, you know, the best possible player in the world right now. I still think it's a little messy, but the odds of him playing at City Soccer in this tournament are, you know, not.
I'll have to do some major work. Major work.
I'm surprised that MLS team actually hasn't put a team into the TST yet. Maybe because the seasons overlap or something. Because of the marketing. You know?
Yeah.
El Kun is bringing. I think he did that tournament, Potrero.
Yeah, he did his own tournament.
So I think that's the team. It's called Potrero. I just kind of read it today. I was like, man, you know.
And last year he came with Manchester City.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, he said. I'm telling you, it's so professional. All the games now, I think today, was it today or yesterday? No, today they announced, you know, every single game is either going to be on ESPN Plus or YouTube Live.
Channel, yeah.
You know, so that's great for the international audience. You know, the marketing is just, you know, the U.S. does that better than anybody. So the fact that this tournament is at the facility that's at, where they have 7 or 8 fields that are just spectacular. You know, it's, again, just looking forward to it. Yeah.
Very nice. Juanito.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any challenges last year?
Oh, yeah.
In your first
TST?
Yeah. You want to share?
It's something totally different. 7v7. I'm used to always been Pedro or Dennis or Felipe's assistant for 11s. And it's really different. And obviously just going as just 2 coaches and having 20 players, it's pretty hard, you know what I'm saying? And try to get that rhythm going, you know, the subbing, trying to get the players playing the position they need to be playing in, listening to you as you see the game. It was different.
Challenging for sure.
This is really challenging.
Yeah. you definitely have the right pieces, you know, to make this happen.
Yeah. Now with more coaches, great coaches, my opinion. We have what it takes. Like I said earlier, I feel confident, really confident this year.
Very nice. Coach Pedro, how is the team this year with the UPSL?
We have been competing. It's been tough. Me coming back from having to leave City Soccer for a little bit to go in different teams that I was when I stopped with City, and then coming back to City again was a little bit tough to like set up the tone within the team and having to understand the new players, understand the style that we wanted to input. Has been a little bit challenging, but I believe that we have the talent, we have the smart players that want to learn the style that I'm inputting into it, and I believe that we have a good roster to compete and keep going forward. But definitely has been challenging because of that, because of the comeback and having new players to understand what we had before, when I was there. And but I think it's beautiful the fact that it makes me do my job a little bit more, more detail, and it's just I'm very happy with the team. I'm very happy with the players, and yeah, we're gonna be trying to have the short objective to at least be on top and stay with the top teams and make it to playoffs, because it's huge for us, for City Soccer, for the family, to stay up high and keep the name up high that we had for so long. So definitely we're competing, and I'm very happy with what we're doing. But it's still, the job is not done. So we have at least 7 more games to go, and I call the finals because it's not going to be easy. But definitely having the players to understand that every game is going to be like a final, in order for us to be up top there and make it through the playoffs.
Yeah, it's exciting, and we're very glad to have you back. It's because you were here since the beginning as well. So the guys appreciate you, and they do have that chemistry with you. So it's very important to have that with coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely been. I mean, throughout the seasons that we've had, we've had amazing learning experiences. But thankfully we've had that talent that it's here. And guys that believe in what we do. But this season, I know maybe it's been a little rough to start, but I'm very proud because I see when I go to the practices, these guys just came from practice. Man, they're just, the numbers are there. The guys want to play. The guys want to train. They know that in order for them to be rostered, the competition is there. So from the trainings, from a little details we're doing, I know what it takes to be able to have a winning season. It's giving the coaches everything they need, from small details to the simple stuff, but you got to give them the best professional setup, and for TST, it's no different. It's even bigger. But the cool thing is that even some players if not a lot of players, will have that option as well. It's going to be up to these guys to decide if they can pull one of these guys from the UPSL team. So that's the cool part too, that they're focusing on all the little details that right now there may be a player that doesn't even know that could be part of TST, but he may have the quality that El Profe and Pedro are looking for,
Yeah, we're gonna invite a couple of the players from the current UPSL team out to the trial that we're gonna have after Medellin, after we go to Colombia. There's a couple of players that I personally think have that magic, something, the uncoachable part of the game that you kind of need, to create a goal out of nothing, to have that pit bull in you to defend, depending on the player there. I think we'll know pretty much our lineup a week after we get back from Colombia, which is good. That brings us to May the 10th, and the tournament starts June the 3rd or 4th, correct?
June 4th.
Yeah, so that's 3 weeks of getting those players together, even though we'll be in different places until we get there to North Carolina. And our plan is to have them there. I think it's 4 or 5 days. So we're going to have another pre-tournament camp where we're going to go through all the details of, I had a game last year where it went to 2-on-2 on a 65 by 45 field. So just imagine, all right? So we have to put and that can happen in our first game, just depending if the target score allows it. So you have to be prepared for everything between 7v7 to 2v2. So just think about it. You could run practices just preparing 7v7, let alone all the modifications that you have to do there. And again, that week after Medellin is going to be fun in the sense that we'll know the pieces and maybe know what our needs are. Maybe maybe we'll need, a second goalie, a third goalie. I don't know, just to give you an example. But at least our roster will be put out.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That I'm just saying. Like, even like he mentioned before, you can be winning 4-0, 5-0, but the game is not over. Of course, the objective is to score the most goals as possible. That just gives you a better chance. But, dude, you can be 4-0, 5-0, and a team can still come back and beat you.
Come back and win, yeah.
And, when it comes to 4v4, 7v7, 6v6, 5v5, man, that's when you start seeing the little things that players individually
absolutely
you can't coach. Yeah. What was it that I think you can't coach speed? To me, you can train speed, but with the ball and just that one little split second that
absolutely
a player can make, like last year, Peralta, Luis Peralta, great player, good friend of mine. He's also part of the prospects of players, but the kid had chances and hit the post, and then we were just that close to, and it's like, and then from there you get counter, you get counter and it's see ya. So those little details is what makes it so fun, exciting, and I think that's just like you can never be over your head thinking, we got this. Like the teams that we're seeing right now, how they're getting prepared, everybody's hungry.
Oh, absolutely.
I wanted to add a little bit to what Coach Marcelo was saying, that we might be getting a couple of players from our UPSL team, because that's what it's all about also, having our actual team from the house. Having those players to get that platform to compete in a higher level than what they are now. And I wish we had more players, not just a couple or three or a few, to add, because I believe in all of our 25, 26 players that we have. But at the same time, we're trying to get the $1 million competition. So we want to make sure that we get the top players to get there. And like I said, I wish we had a lot more players from the UPSL. And if they're listening, I wish they're over there. But I want to make sure that we make the best decision, not just for us, not just for the team, but for them also, that when they're there, they know they can compete. And that's why we decided to invite a few of the players to the tryout, which we're going to be having on May 8th. And seeing what they can do in the 7v7, because going from 11v11 already in there and going to a 7v7 is a totally whole different ballgame. So we want to make sure that they can compete on that type of setup.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Any other goal aside from the $1 million?
That's the only goal.
That's the only goal.
Honestly, it's the only goal.
Yeah. No, right now, there's so many things that we could speak about for the future, but right now our main focus is this tournament, and I got to make sure I provide these guys the best setup. That's my obligation, with the help of the staff, even the guys from the media. They have this beautiful facility, or a whole lot of movies, Kevin. Very beautiful studio, but all those little things that you got to put together and make sure you have the right crew, the right people that believe in this project. It's not just showing up. There's just so many things that, we have a cook, shout out to
the transportation people.
Shout out to Danilo, because he will get offended if I don't give him a shout out. From the drivers, our coach assistant from the goalkeeper Pablo. We have a goalkeeper coach that's going with us. That's part of the UPSL team, our team, our family.
That's a big part of it. Without a good keeper and good preparation and his own coach, keepers are a different animal. you can incorporate them into sessions and have them tactically in what you have to do. But 90% of their work is specialized, and you need a special type of person to get them ready. And Pablo does a good job with the goalies at City Soccer. So he's an in-house family coach that we're bringing in. And again, excited. It's a family, and it takes a whole village to win this. And I'm happy that we got the draw that we got, which we haven't talked about much, but I think it's very tough. But at the same time, it's two teams that played last year. So there's some film that we could watch and break down and kind of analyze and see what maybe we can exploit. And again, that's the chess match that I love, and that we're going to get the coaching staff on the same page. And Boris has put out so much time-wise, financially, with his relationships in the community, with type of scenarios like this, that the players and the staff owe him our best effort. And if we do that, I know we're going to get as close to that $1 million as we possibly can. And to win something, you always need a little bit of luck, right? If it's maybe not having an injury, or a ref making a good call for you, or a bad call against the other team, the goal post, that Boris talked, Juanito talked about, that didn't go in last year, maybe this year they go in, so keeping injury free. So again, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll probably do another after. I'm kind of biting my tongue right now because I want to say who the prospects that I feel very comfortable about, but they still have to put their name on it, and
maybe we can do a follow-up.
We'll do a follow-up so we can announce these players. But like he said, starting from the goalkeepers, I feel like we got good prospects that will make a huge difference in this game. And but yeah, maybe next one I'll be able to express myself a little bit more as far as certain players. But yeah, right now I'm just very thankful because I've had a lot of support from my close friends, from driving, from cooking, and Manolo and Mauricio are gonna be helping us driving. With Danilo is going to be cooking, so we have all these little things that we just got to get prepared for that do matter. So these guys feel like, hey, you know what, we're part of something that is getting done the right way. We got to feed these guys right. We got to make sure that they're taken care of, well rested. Marcelo will be at the hotel with the players, keeping an eye and make sure, because this thing could change these guys' lives.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
good point. Very good point.
And it's not something that for us, maybe here in the United States, it's like, oh, okay. But this could be a life-changing experience. Not experience, just financial, So the level it's that mentality. You got to be at that level. And that's the kind of player we're going after.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm excited.
We need some dogs.
We just we gotta put, this is where the fun really starts now.
Anything else you would like to add?
Not I.
We just gotta get to work.
ready to go.
Absolutely.
Got to work, man. That's it. We
Got a lot of work to do.
Thank you, Gabe, for just helping us out here and being part of also the family. You do a lot of the marketing with us here, and I'm very honored to have you. And with Kevin and this whole setup, it's amazing. Looking forward to keep working and doing things for the community. There's so much here in Palm Beach County. I've been talking to a couple of friends that there's just so much things to do. And there's good news that are coming after for Palm Beach County, Now it's my job to find the right people to help us acknowledge everything we've done, And I definitely, it's not a one-man show, it's everybody, And this is why I feel like I have the best staff possible, And I'm banking and I'm betting everything on this, And of course, the help of my family, My family has been is always supportive. My kids, my wife, it's just always there for me, So hopefully I can get everybody there. Hopefully we can go as far as possible, even to make it to the final. But the idea is that at the end of the day, I always tell them, enjoy this, let's have fun,
absolutely,
and just keep growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're excited to see how City Soccer will do. I know you guys will do great. We will do great. And then let's get this.
Let's get this.
Party
Thank you guys.
started.
We'll get the second one going after May 4th.
Absolutely.
May 4th or May 8th, we'll have more of information that we can share with the.
I promise to wear pants that day.
Yeah. You're good. Hey, you guys came for
Prophet
practice.
caught by
so-
surprise.
But this is how it is. This is the reality.
Awesome.
We're
It's awesome.
This is
it's what we do.
Yep.
So
Well, gentlemen, thank you. And
well. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
CJ. Thank you. Appreciate it.
A whole lot
Thank
of
you
movies.
guys.
whole lot of movies.